Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and I'm back with another review. And today we're taking a look at, from the Studio Series 86 line, this is Deluxe Class Bumblebee. Now, as I expected, I was expecting this to come in from Command Store on Friday the 23rd, 21st. It actually came in on Thursday the 20th, my birthday. So I got a little early birthday present that I sort of paid for. Uh, but as I just mentioned, this comes from Command Store. Have it in stock now, but it is only part of a two-pack. Well, I shouldn't say two packets. They're shipping it together with Deluxe Class uh, Optimus Prime from Transformers 1. Now, those, if you remember, are going to be the A level, A class figures. And we'll get into a little bit more of that at the end of the review. But right now, I'm pretty sure that's the only way that they can be found. So, yeah, I mean, other than that, you want to go to like uh, eBay or something. But again, we'll talk about that a little bit later. And one thing I want to start off with is when I first saw this version of Bumblebee, I was I kind of had a hunch, and having it in hand, I was right. In my opinion, which I think I'm going to be able to prove quite succinctly, this is really an upscaling with some modifications to the core class, rest in peace, Bumblebee figure that was released originally during the Kingdom line and was just put out a year or so ago uh, in the Legacy line in a special box set with Core Class Optimus Prime. You remember that one? It was the more G1 animation accurate paint job, came with a trailer. Yeah, if you don't have that set, I think it's going for like 25 bucks on Amazon now. This used to go for like closer to 50. So yeah, jump on it. But as you can see, a lot of the molding and detailing is very, very similar. Now, this Bumblebee, unlike other Studio Series figures, does not have a car licensing. The Volkswagen licensing has been removed from this. Thus, it's closer to its animation design, which was that, if you remember, the Penny Racer, the original concept for Bumblebee was as a transforming version of the Takara toy line, their penny or Choro Q, their penny racers. So it was a little squat, a little more not uh, as evenly proportioned. And if you look at the roofs here, you do have a little bit of that. The angling with the windows, the back here, and as we're going to see in a second, the transformation is very similar, especially with the way the legs fold in on themselves. Something I find very interesting. The weapon storage, yeah, it's different, but if you come underneath and look, I mean, how the arms end up is almost similar. Almost. I mean, they end up along the side here, they fold up here in the back, but there is that rotation on the back wheels. And also, let's not forget that this version of the mold that came with Optimus Prime, which I'm using, by the way, I just want to make sure that's clear, did come with that animation accurate blaster. So there is that nice little touch to it as well. But just to keep going on with this, here's something else I wanted to show you. This is the Tacticon from Earthspark Bumblebee. And again, that same squat design. And if you notice all of them, big wheels in the back, smaller wheels in the front. That same design, same basic layout of the paint details and stuff like that. Now, keep in mind that with Bumblebee here, the Studio Series 86 version, type of plastic they're using unfortunately prevents um, the certain types of paint being used. So that's why you don't have this like sky blue animation accurate color scheme, the gray joints instead of black. So and that's just an impossibility. So don't expect, as they've said, like a Generation Selects repaint somewhere down the line with a more animation accurate design. But I do just think it's very funny that when you remove the Volkswagen license, this is the design you get, and how often in recent history it's actually been used, because this is actually closer to what the original toy looked like. So, with all that being said, what we'll do now is we'll pause and we'll come back with the transformation. Okay, so transformation is fairly simple. First thing you want to do is go ahead and remove the gun here. And I do like that it is that animation accurate blaster. I mean, if you remember from that Centurion drone set with the accessories, that gave us a similar blaster to go with that Earthrise Walmart Bumblebee. But so there's that. So that just pegs into the back there. The next step, what you want to do is come in here and just pop up this back section, and it's on a double hinge, and you just want to get it all up and out of the way. A lot of that is just for the just spacing, giving yourself room to work. Next thing, what you want to do is come in here, the arms peg together, and when you're done with that, just come in and fold them out to clear up, to open up that back section. So now we come to the front, and this is where things get a little bit interesting. So the first thing you want to do is um, unpeg the front of the car from the side here. There's a little tab that goes into a slot. And this is actually, once everything is pegged in place, this holds a lot better. So you want to fold it all the way up on that toe joint that basically folds the hood of the car into the feet, what will be the feet. Next, what you want to do is fold back on what were the knee joints, and that will straighten the leg out like so, and then finally bring it all the way up again on the hips so that they're up and forward like that. At this point, what you want to do is separate the feet, because you need to come in here to do a little work. And the first thing you want to do is come underneath and flip out this grayish black section. Put your thumb on it, because now what you're going to do is fold down that panel right there. You're going to close this panel up, and then that longer panel will tab into that shorter piece, and that'll make the foot so you don't fold the wheel in. Let's do it again on this side. And the reason why I'm telling you to hold your thumb here is because you do have to apply a little pressure to get this panel to secure. And if you're not holding it down, it can't actually push it back into place. So once you have that done, um, unpeg the waist section from the inside here, and then just bring it up, and that will soft tab into place like so. Now that you have this up, go ahead and rotate um, the wheels down and around so that the arms are facing forward. Fold them back, to fit into the cavity there. There are little nubbins that the on the wheels that will kind of tab into place there. It's really more just a guide to fit them in. Bring the arms forward, straighten them out, really just position them however you see fit. And now what we're going to do is there's a tab right there on this torso piece that yellow hinge is going to peg into, that like so. And then what you can do is open up the chest, bring up Bumblebee's head, slap that into place, and then there are little nubbins on the back of this panel that are going to just hinge. You're going to bring it down, and they're going to slot into place right there. So you're covering the wheels up, and that closes up the back section. No parts forming, none of that. Real quick, is it just me, or does Bumblebee look like he's sort of smiling? I mean, in the press photos we've seen, it's kind of shown that it's more stern. But I don't know. Here he looks a little more jubilant. But yeah, that's a very nice like Bumblebee head, sort of like how he looked in the movie. And let me just say, this is a very nice Bumblebee. Uh, you can hold the blaster in the hand. You can also, of course, store it here on the back. I know for vehicle mode, you had it like this. And yes, as you push it in, you're going to disturb that back piece, but it just comes right down. I actually, for robot mode, because I'm a little bit anal like that, I'll do it like this, just because like that's how he's going to grab it. But anyway, you can obviously put it in the hand. And I know a lot of people are excited to have this blaster. This is like considered like the Autobot blaster. So there's that. You actually have a nice range of articulation, waist swivel, universal joint at the hip. Uh, you do have knees, and the ankle is a little bit above the normal position, but you do have some nice ankle pivot. I mean, Van Damme scale, people. Universal. You have a ball joint at the shoulder, bicep swivel. I mean, it does also swivel at that joint. You have a wrist swivel too, so that's nice. And believe it or not, the head is on a ball joint, and even with the design, it is fairly expressive in my opinion. I mean, it could be a little bit better, but I think just based on the design, what you can do. So let's go ahead. And I mentioned this about this core class figure, and you can see some of the similarities now. Now, instead of these panels coming up like this, on this figure, they actually folded into the toe. And you do see how this is more squared off, where this is a little more rounded, like the Cherokee Penny Racer design. Obviously, the arms are a bit different, as this was a bit more like the G1 toy with the wheels on the arm, and these are like the animation design where they're free flowing and stuff like that. And of course, you have a much cleaner backpack that you don't have the wheel wells sticking off because that was all rotated in. But you did have, again, I'll link to the video, the similar transformation where it's like came folding out, but this piece folded out instead of the whole connection with the wheel well. But in terms of the head, um, I'd say they're both very close to the animation design, but this one nails it a little bit better. And then, of course, the big comparison. Um, Here's that War for Cybertron uh, Walmart exclusive licensed Volkswagen Bumblebee. Um, and I didn't realize that they're actually the same size. I thought this was going to be a little bit bigger. I mean, there's a little more mass to it, but yeah, I mean, you can see how this is a how a Volkswagen would transform with parts forming, mind you. Don't forget that back section has to come off. But here it is, Bumblebee, um, you know, removing the license to get that closer to that animation design. And real quick, just to help you guys out, here's a little quick comparison of the two blasters. I mean, as you can see, this one, the one that came with the Centurion drone set, that flat gray, unpainted, molded detail, not even like a round handle, just that sort of rounded rectangle type grip. And this, you have this is molded in black, painted silver, has the weapon storage port, 5 millimeter peg, um, kind of short actually. I just realized that, but yeah, the same basic design. I mean, here you can see that a little bit easier, that little forward flare. So, I mean, it is nice that they did do it and they recognize that this is, Bumblebee's look. Now, I've had that War for Cybertron Bumblebee on my Studio Series 86 shelf, and it's getting replaced by this because um, I think the easiest way to say is like this right here is the toy version of the Masterpiece Bumblebee. So if you couldn't get the Masterpiece Bumblebee, the version 1, this was a good substitute. Except for the fact that even now, I think you can still get that version 1 Masterpiece Bumblebee for a very reasonable price. Even in the gold, even and if you don't limit yourself to just like the yellow, if you're open to the gold or the red, it's even more reasonable. This is still very hard to find and goes for, I don't want to say a premium, but it does go for more than retail on the secondary market. Now, do I think once this figure hits saturation, this new Studio Series version, the prices will come down? Yes. But I still can see where some people are going to want this version just to have in their collection, especially if they collect Bumblebees, because, hey, it's Bumblebee. You know, there's like the different designs and stuff. And again, the novelty of finally having a fully licensed Volkswagen toy Bumblebee. The Masterpiece was also licensed as well. So, but really, in my opinion, in terms of the transformation, there's good to both, but at least you don't have to worry about the clear plastic like you do with this one, and it's all contained. There's no parts for it, and I think that was like the big thing. And in fact, you can even see here like how there is some shared bits to the transformation with the folding door panels. Here, the wheel folds up into place. Here, it's that very nice panel negates the issues with the wheels. So, I mean, I'm not trying to say one is better than the other, but I think in terms of just price, this is a better value proposition. Although when this came out, it was about 20 bucks. This is out, and it's the same, in my opinion, the same level of engineering. We're looking at closer to 25. Um, Also, I should also point out this was designed as an Earthrise figure. So to work with the weaponizers, the the base guys, whatever they were called, the extra accessories. So you'll see like the 5 millimeter ports here on the forearm, on the feet, the right above the ankles, um, that shield piece that was the back section. This is a much cleaner figure. You don't have those ports and what have you. So if something like that bothers you, then I think you might enjoy this figure a little bit more. And yeah, I am lining them up, and it really, from head to head, it looks like this is the same uh, size. It's just that that back panel, let me just a little crooked, um, sits a little higher, if that makes sense. But yeah, here, let me bring in a little core Bumblebee. It's a Bumblebee party. Yeah. Oh wait, hold on. Let's make it a Bumblebee party. Here, Tacticon, the finger banger. Bumblebee party. Yeah. Woohoo! 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 Look at me! Look at me! Shudder me! Shudder me! Oh, sorry. I'm having way too much fun here. But yeah, I think that's about it. Um, I think we'll just pause now, digni- dignifiedly go to my final thoughts. So, if you really can't tell, I do like this version of Bumblebee. Like I said, it'll be replacing that other War for Cybertron design on my shelf as on my Studio Series 86 shelf. So, when you see it, definitely pick it up. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning, this is part of the new A level, A line. Basically, it is only for Studio Series, and it's a way to keep the popular characters like Optimus Prime and Bumblebee on shelves regularly. They have already started doing this with Marvel Legends, where you have Captain America, Iron Man, Spider Man in these special releases that are available to retailers all the time to keep on the shelves. Now, apparently, those have been selling well, but keep it. Remember what I just said: available to retailers. There's no telling that retailers are going to constantly be ordering Bumblebee and Prime. They might order a case or two, spell through it, and then move on. My point being is, I've heard from a lot of people that they think the stores are going to, at some point, going to be flooded with these figures because they're designed to be, you know, always on the shelf, like an evergreen type of release. And I'm not 100% sure about that. While I strongly urge you not to pay the $45, $50 that I see these figures going for now, I also would strongly urge you not to wait for a sale or clearance or expect there will be a wall of Studio Series 86 Bumblebees at Ollie's come the Christmas season. I could be wrong, but I don't think you guys would want to wait for that type of release. Um, Again, I think this figure is fantastic. And I think you'll enjoy it. So, I mean, I don't have a problem paying the retail now. So if it goes on sale later, hey, that's a bonus for other people. But for me, I'm happy with the purchase, and I urge you to again not take too long in to not wait as long as you might think, because they just may not be there. So that's about it for this review. If you like this review, like, comment, and subscribe. Well, I will always appreciate the views. Your likes, comments, and subscriptions help to communicate to YouTube through my algorithm that my channel should be exalted and held upon high. If you want to make us the ultimate sign of support, I do have a Patreon. It is www.patreon.com/chuckdog1999. All I ask for is $1 a month, $12 a year. No thrills, no tears, no special rewards. All you're doing is helping me help you to help me help you bring figures like this to you, as well as keeping up the infrastructure of the channel. But as I always say, if you can't afford $1 a month, $12 a year, your views are more than thanks enough. Patreon is just a cherry on top of an already generous Sunday. And you guys have been supporting me for quite a while, and I really do appreciate it. Sites have gotten funny about how they share views as news. A lot of sites now, they'll have their own news editors creating videos just for it, and that really pushes me out. The larger channels, they don't have to worry about that because they have a built-in audience. I really don't. So, taking the time out to watch my video before you go to watch somebody else's really does help. But also sharing my video around, getting other people's eyes on it, that can help as well. But that's about it. Once again, this is your old pal Chuck. Thank you all, by the way, for the birthday wishes. I do really appreciate it. I have seen them across social media. This is Studio Series 86 Bumblebee, and we will see you next time.